I have spent the last 7 days getting caked up on Doom the Dark Ages, people. And let me tell ya, this game is harder than you've been led to believe. But you didn't tune in to hear me complain, you came here for the peak gameplay. Doom the Dark Ages is the third game of the modern Doom saga, and today I'll be giving you a full breakdown of my thoughts regarding this wild game. Our topics and gameplay footage and background may contain minor spoilers, but nothing crazy for anyone still on the fence about trying this game out. Don't forget to rank my gameplay on a scale from 1 to OK in the comments. I'm playing on PS5 Nightmare, all standard difficulty settings. Now, on to the topics. Number 1. What many reviewers get wrong. Let me start off by dropping the two biggest nuts on the table. This game is not slow, and this game is hard. Hearing other early reviews of this game, I was convinced I could dive right into Nightmare difficulty and breeze through without a worry, and man was I wrong. I died so many times trying to learn the proper mentality and combat loop for this game. And right when I thought I had it, I would find myself right in the middle of another demonic Circle J. I actually liked how many times I had my expectations thrown in my face, and my throbbing ego humbled to dust. I would actually argue that the stand and fight playstyle the Dark Ages is said to tout is not truly apt. I found the greatest success through being properly positioned on the battlefield, and at all times being aware of each threat, and severely thinning the enemy ranks before engaging the tougher foes. You feel very squishy in this game, even when your attacks feel massive. Guard your own skin above all else, and choose the times to pick off the big threats one by one. Parrying perfectly does not guarantee your success, as neither does mercilessly bashing foes in melee combat. In fact, that is when I felt the most vulnerable, and really found myself dying the most. At range, you can have a better ability to survey the battlefield, and see all the threats as a whole. Let me know if I'm crazy here, folks, but one minute I would feel locked in on a cyber demon's destruction, and next drop dead from a threat I had lost sight of. It's an old Doomism that still stands true. Awareness is key. Anyway, on to the next topic. Number 2, the challenge. When I pick up a Doom game, I want to be pushed to my limits, sort of like what Taco Bell does to my colon. Mastering the intricate mechanics, developing new strategies, and finally beating the harder difficulties are a huge factor for me in picking up these games. As someone who regularly plays Doom 2016 and Eternal on Nightmare difficulty, but is by no means skilled enough to beat Ultra Nightmare, I can safely say that this game pushed me just like the others. It lacks the berserk technical speed and multitasking that Eternal has, but still feels overwhelmingly fast and punishing. If you dive headlong into combat, you'll get swarmed like FBI agents at a furry con. This by no means matches the difficulty of the Ancient Gods, but this game was not easy at all for me, which is a good thing. A funny story. I beat Nightmare and decided to do a more breezy run on Ultra Violence. Halfway through my playthrough, I start running out of lives and actually start dying. A lot. Again. This was unthinkable for me. After beating Doom Eternal on Nightmare, Ultra Violence is actually a breeze. And I wonder if it's because the toolset Eternal gives you over Dark Ages is so incredibly substantial. You have dashes for instant directional mobility, flame belch, so many grenades, quick switches, chainsaw, blood punch. All these working together in unison makes you feel literally untouchable. And it's when you start dropping your tools, or just shit the bed, that you fail. Dark Ages has plenty of tools, but honestly, I don't feel like it turns you into the unstoppable force that Eternal's tools do. It could be I don't understand the Dark Ages all the way. And if I'm still dying on Ultra Violence, that is likely the situation. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is the challenge is there, for sure. This game isn't easy. Even with generous parry windows, I still find myself all greased up all the time and wondering what I did wrong. And there are difficulty sliders, people. I haven't touched them yet, as I like the universal experience of curated difficulties. But someday, I will try the 150 speedrun. Perhaps after I beat Pandemonium, which is a long freaking way away. Let's move on to something fun, folks. Number 3, the weapons. My first observation is the weapons all feel a bit uniform, and this must be due to the loss of quick switching. All weapons need to be able to function somewhat in all situations. We have the classic combat shotgun and super shotgun. The shotgun having massive utility with the ability to generate armor and surprising range, while the super shotgun has never been this powerful before. Up close, this thing is unmatched in power, especially against large targets, having the power to one-shot Hell Knights and Arachnotrons. We have the Shredder and Impaler, They're both really good, but the Shredder is seriously perhaps my favorite gun. It seems lame at first, but is one of the few guns good at range, and you can turn an enemy into a high damage bomb with pincushion. I seriously used this to beat the last boss, and found it worked better than the super shotgun. Using shield throw, you can unload on a target and detonate them for big damage over and over while maintaining precise fire. The Impaler is a massacre at mid-range too. I thought this would be a sniper, but it has a serious arcing drop at range. The key here is charge each round and headshot for some of the fastest kills in the game. Using the parry slowdown can help you get the headshots too. Next, plasma weapons, with the Accelerator and Cycler. Heat Blast with the Accelerator in this game is massive. I love how the charge system works here, and the rate of fire for the Accelerator is unmatched. The Cycler may just be an overpowered weapon though, and doesn't require much strategy. It's already really high damage and causes shock to enemies that ramps it up even higher. It's really good. The skull weapons are both fantastic. The Pulverizer and Ravager are two extremely similar weapons that both excel at one thing. Pulverizer is one of the best go-to weapons for surveying a battlefield or getting out of a sticky situation, as it has insanely wide range of fire and builds charge that increases your already very fast run speed. It's so fun blasting around the arena, evading fast foes and peppering whole armies with bone shards. The Ravager narrows down the wide spread for a more concentrated cone of death. Get this though, you hit max charge and you don't have that movement buff, but instead all enemies drop health and ammo while you maintain your stream of fire. Another perhaps overpowered weapon that is extremely easy to use. We got the Chain Shot, which I'm not sure why they didn't just call it the Ball Shot. Chain Shot is clunky, but murder against armor, and pretty great damage. Really simple, charge by holding fire or parry. When at full power, you release to blast whatever is in front of you. It's definitely powerful, but I never really enjoyed using it. Now for the explosives. We have the grenade launcher and the rocket launcher. Normally I eat up rocket launchers in these games, but in this one I absolutely love the grenade launcher. One of my favorites in the game. The grenade launcher has a fairly high rate of fire and arcs, so you can hit targets over energy fence attacks or without having a line of sight. It's so fun to use this at the start of combat to thin the battlefield and bombard armored targets from afar. This is surprisingly powerful upgraded, as you can blast large areas with cluster bombs, especially when you have multiple charging attackers. You can have them severely damaged before they even reach you. The rockets are really cool in this game with really big splash damage. I, however, couldn't get past the mental block of their upgrades. Using rockets up close goes against every FPS instinct I have in my head. I honestly always ended up dying every time I tried to use the rocket vampire ability. I hear it's good, it just never worked for me. I do not like the BFC very much. And I just felt a little blue-balled by the crossbow instead of the usual green death machine we get in Doom games. I sort of forgot about it for a while when playing. For melee weapons, we have the Power Gauntlet, Flail, and Dread Mace. Of all these, I use the Gauntlet perhaps the most. I loved how easily it applies shock, which followed by a super shotgun blast is tremendous. If I'm ever swinging down an enemy in melee, I am likely to die. The Gauntlet with its fastest attack speed, frequent use, and ability to get back to shooting immediately suited my style best. Never ran out of ammo with this puppy. The Flail is great too. It hits more enemies at once and generates armor. Also kills enemy armor, but I didn't really see a noticeable difference in damage with this weapon. If I went in swinging on an enemy, I would likely die as with the Gauntlet. Dread Mace is the most powerful weapon in the game, but you cannot use it frequently, like the others. And it has a really slow swing speed, meaning you will get interrupted out of it unless you primed for an attack. This was a lifesaver at times against massive foes, but I felt like it was a very high-risk weapon that doesn't help as much as the others at keeping your ammo up. The shield and shield runes, too, are another fun way to mix up your game. All reviews will say this, but the shield is essential to survival. Parries, shield charge, and shield throw are all important to success in this game, and using them without breaking the damn shield all the time is key. The runes, however, add nifty effects when parrying the various ranged attacks in this game. They all seem quite good, but one that I felt is slept on is the glowy spectral daggers. The damage is insanely high with these things, slowly spawning out and targeting whatever is in front of you. You can use parry, focus all daggers on a single target, or turn all the way around, dealing death in a 180 arc. I've killed Mancubus with a single parry. Seriously, it's like a super shotgun blast triggered by parry, and with actual range. My biggest takeaway is every weapon in the game is good, just perhaps a bit uninteresting in many of their cases. I wish there was more variety like there is in the other games. Now let's move on to the next topic. Number 4, aesthetics. Doom is fun, but Doom is also freaking cool. Though no modern Doom game for me is more visually or musically appealing than Doom 2016, with its blood-drenched futuristic Mars outpost and bleak hellscapes. and freaking BFG division, the Dark Ages moved slightly away from the bright and more upbeat and colorful Eternal aesthetics towards the dark and grim setting that I think works better. Some settings like the Cosmic Realm later on are so incredibly cool. The mind-bending effects that mix aspects of Inception with layers of fear, including rooms that change when you turn your back on them. I love this section of the game and want to see more of this in the DLC. Or perhaps like a Quake game. The music was really good, but takes less foreground than the other two games. Still gets your blood pumping, doesn't set you into a frenzy like Mick Gordon's OST would. Not the best aesthetics Doom has to offer, but fantastic all around. On PS5, this game looks incredible. Let's move on. Number 5, the boss fights. Our big baddies are returning to form from the complicated puzzles in an arena chocked full of fodder demons of Doom Eternal to the colossal one-on-one circle strafe fest of Doom 2016. Cyber Demon from Doom 2016 is still my favorite Doom boss of all time. But here the arenas aren't littered with wandering zombies to kill you. You won't need to wait your turn to attack, like in Eternal. You are always in the action, dodging attacks, firing non-stop, and parrying like your life depends on it for the final boss. I personally don't like to feel like the developers are spitting in my mouth, like the final boss of Ancient Gods Part 2 did. These are all really awesome in the Dark Ages. Simple and fun, but lacking the spectacle of Doom 2016 bosses. I want my bosses to feel like a one-on-one showdown for the ages, and this game delivers. Now on to our last topic. Number 6, the story. A space medieval aesthetic, dragons, mechs, alien races, demons, a chosen chick with godlike powers. Kind of, but not really. This story has turned into so many different things that it makes me yearn for the simplistic, atmospheric, subtle storytelling of 2016. Eternal does the best job of showing that Doom Guy is a total monster, as he marches around with friends and foes all terrified of him. I just didn't really like where they took the story. The Makers, Sentinels, I just wanted the dark halls of the UAC on Mars, and the flaming steps of Hell. That being said, Dark Ages' story was a step up from Eternal, and had moments that straight up homage 2016, and perhaps gave us some insight into the story of 2016. Late game story spoilers incoming, folks. You've been warned. I didn't expect to think Doom Guy dying would actually be something I would like in this game, but damn was it cool. Not how he died, that was pretty dumb. But what happened when he did die? Doom Guy wakes up in the afterlife as a zombie, and you get the achievement, Too Angry to Die, and battle your way back to the mortal plane to finish the job, even hijacking Karen's boat to do such. As you are reborn, you get the exact intro monologue as we heard in Doom 2016, and are brought back into the mortal world by a ritual and in a coffin, awakening like you did in Doom 2016. Was Doom Guy resurrected in Doom 2016? There are a ton of similarities. Anyway, I love that part of the game, and getting those throwbacks to prior games got me all bricked up. Doom the Dark Ages is really good, really fast, and super tough. I want to make it clear too that, though I tossed a bit of shade at Eternal, it's still my favorite modern Doom game for its gameplay and combat loop alone. They were just aesthetic and story choices I didn't like very much. The Dark Ages is 100% worth a playthrough. I would love to hear your thoughts about the game and review in the comments. Like and subscribe, people, and we'll catch you guys in the next video.